New game, new stream, beautiful music. I'm just gonna turn it down a bit. This is horrendous. New game. Ooh. Ghosting. Jesus. Bad at loving herself and everything else. Gods. Combat style, button mashing, bedroom style, button mashing. I think I'm gonna go with Pluto. Ooh. Welcome provisional test pilot Saturn. Your clearance is level 1, testing and maintenance. Warning, potential damage to cockpit hardware detected. Modifying or tampering with cockpit hardware and or firmware is strictly prohibited. Mercury. Saturn, what are you doing? Notice, bypass override accepted. Launch attempt blocked. No handshake with base. Hey Mercury, not much. Launch attempt blocked. Base handshake spoof detected. Just hacking the OS root of this ship's health. You? Base handshake accepted. Trying to stop some brat from hijacking the prototype, apparently. Emergency launch override initiated. Prepare for launch in T-minus 120 seconds. Calm down, Mercury. I'm just borrowing it. I'm not debating. I'm trying to save your life. The commander will be furious, and he won't just accept you stealing the Cornerstone project from the designated pilot. It's not a big deal. I'll have it back before you know it. This is privileged information, but the designated pilot has to launch right this second to get that machine back to Earth before they get here. This is the worst possible time. It couldn't be worse if you planned it. Everyone in the system suddenly somehow knows this base's location and they're heading here now. User launch override blocked. Denied by base. Oh, wow. Weird. How did that happen? User launch override blocked. Denied by base. Same message. You planned it, didn't you? You forgot an apostrophe. Base override. Remote shutdown in 30 seconds. No one can prove anything, especially not the designated pilot unconscious in locker 27. Oops, it looks like they're trying to kick me out, huh? Saturn, I know you're mad, but you can't do this when they catch you. It's going to be so bad. Can you just please act like you're just pranking them? There's still time. I will beg them. Oh, such a worrywart. You've got hours to evacuate to the capital ship. They'll never engage you this far from base, and I'll be distracting them. I have it all figured out. Except for how you're going to do anything at all to accomplish that with everyone trying to kill you. Base override. Remote shutdown in 20 seconds. Saturn. Try to have a little faith. Base override. Remote shutdown in 15 seconds. Saturn. Calm down, jeez. It doesn't take a genius to drive one of these things to the moon. Who cares which one of us does it? Or do you think I can't? Base override remote shutdown in 10 seconds. That is not the issue. The commander cares, and you know better than anyone what he's like. Base override remote shutdown in 9 seconds. One moment while I try and figure out how the hell to say that. EA Petus. God, I hope I didn't butcher that badly. We'll just have to get used to it, lol. Base override remote shutdown in 8 seconds. Saturn, what are you trying to prove? Base override remote shutdown in 7 seconds. Remote shutdown in 6 seconds. So much, Mercury. Remote shutdown in 5 seconds. But give me a little credit. Remote shutdown in 4 seconds. 3 seconds. I have much higher ambition than just being a bitch. IFF secrets missing. Base override cancelled. I almost got worried for a sec. Well, welcome, assigned pilot. Full permissions granted. Saturn, I'm going to die and it will be your fault. Oh, come on. I'll get this to the moon safe and sound. And let the severance project be complete. I'll be very good, maybe, and even do everything I'm supposed to. Maybe. I know I'm the second choice, but they'd rather have that than nothing, right? Very generous of me, isn't it? They will not accept that. They will have to sort that. They will have to, though, won't they? If Command doesn't want me to steal one, then they shouldn't have benched me indefinitely. Emergency launch initiated. Let me know when he starts admitting it. Hostile launch. Catapult locks on. High risk of damage to your ship self. Geez, now they're just being needy. Mercury isn't just the worst when someone... Mercury, isn't it just the worst when someone who doesn't care anymore starts clinging just because you found someone new? Prepping weapon systems. Electrotoxin levels surging. Weapons operational. So gross, lol. Emergency launch initiated. Can't believe I really did it. I really, really did it. Everyone who said if I was good I'd get my chance again sure was a liar. I've got away and I've got a ship and she's all mine. You're beautiful. I want to know everything about you. I miss this so much. Much better than the test machines when I was in the academy. She's beautiful. She's a wicked machine with lots of secrets and just as giddy as her pilot to be free. She's extremely responsive, eager to do everything Saturn wants. You're even worth reading the manual for. That's in you. What's in you? You're not hiding anything from me, are you? But Saturn already knows everything in the manual, and more. It's a very cagey document that doesn't do the ship justice, and is certainly hiding something. There's plenty of information on how to use her There's plenty of information on how to use her electromagnetic poisons and how to cheat distance and gravity, and all of that is fun, but none of it tells her the first thing about how to be a ship. This is useless. How can this help diagnose anything when I don't know the first thing about being a ship? So wrong, way too dry. That's not what it's like at all. It's a body that's also a soul. It means exactly what it is. That's why it's small, curved in wicked edges in some places and curved in soft ways elsewhere. Sharp claws and a deadly tail, but cute enough to hug. So perfectly suited for Saturn, one has to understand exactly why they wouldn't give it to her. Really perfect. Fits better than a human body. That's reason enough to disobey everyone and run off with it, isn't it? Oh, speaking of... Oh, more threatening emails from Epitus. Missing me already? I gave him a perfectly good deal for someone who always goes on about mutually beneficial agreements. He's really having trouble seeing the big picture. In time, and the time it takes him to realize that, I'm sure I can find something fun to do with this in this system. Time to test you out and see if it's really true. Can you give me something I want, down to the last drop? Oh. It's January 1st, 1980, and the long and cold war where humanity united against its nemesis, an existential threat from beyond the stars, has been over for a long time. Since the 50s, we've been fighting a war against an existential threat that we cannot understand, cannot perceive, and is powerless against the technology of Earth. That's a really stupid sort of war to fight, isn't it, when there's something of a mess down here to worry about. Humanity is already an undistributed authority of reality, and we have the physics to prove it. It's time to return to Earth, our home, the seat of the universe. Before Earth takes us back in pieces, let's go home with grace. On the first anniversary of the decommissioning of the International Space Program, we, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety, in agreement with our home's planet's unanimous decision, declare there is no future for humanity in space. Let's come home. The Return Resolution, Memorial Foundation Native Space Existential Safety. It's January 1, 1981. It's been 1 year since we declared the independence from the Memorial Foundation and the rest of Earth. The Cold War is officially over, and it feels so light, without our gravity weighing us down. How can a tiny handful of colonies, terraformers and school, hold out against the full authority of Earth? Because that shit doesn't fly past escape velocity. To the power the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity to the ship selves we made to fight the Cold War, we made tidal resonators to bring the gravity necessary for humans and culture to survive in space, and that gravity is ours now, enough to make a new world, free from the weight of Earth. If Memorial Foundation wants to kill the future, they'll have to come and take it from us. We're thankful for our cradle's graces, and we're not coming back. Independence Declaration, Cradle's Graces. It's January 25th, 1981. Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces have been having fun for a little over a year, and nothing is breaking the stalemate. Earth is getting impatient. They have a good reason to believe that the existential threat posed by a divided humanity in space is much greater than any theoretically malevolent entity outside the native sphere. While the kids are fighting, Earth is getting ready to list the humans remaining in space as part of the existential threat, and when they do, they'll send real weapons and end this war fought with plastic toys. Their justification? We are technically less than 100% human, just not human enough to be something else. It's hard to believe they're really onto us. It's time to make a drastic move. Bring our final piece, the prototype ship self-string of pearls we made in the atmosphere of planet Cronus, which will never be Saturn, to the lunar gravity well where Memorial Foundation and Cradle's Graces are already headed. Whoever controls that place controls human access to space. We can be sure everything will be in place there. Earth or space, we are just short of 100% human. So let's see how much less than 100% we can get. Internal report, Celestial Mechanics. Saturn return. In the gravity of the abandoned Daphnis lab, Saturn lies in wait for the looming threat of Pluto's mysterious ship. But what are they after, and will they get it? Joyride Killjoy. Weaving in and out of 6 planets' rings, Memorial Foundation's ace, Lunar Terror, plays cat and mouse with the renegade ship thief, Saturn. Subject: Truce ending effective immediately. Author: Origin: Native Sphere Mass Communication. Author: Memorial Foundation Existential Safety. To all members of the former Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Research Division, now known as Celestial Mechanics, this message serves as a formal acknowledgement that this brand has violated our trust and broken the provisions of 1981 Memorial Foundation consensus by violating Clause 3, the development of variable gravity engine, and Clause 7, installation of a variable gravity engine into a self-ship string of pearls. Celestial Mechanics will no longer be listed as part of Memorial Foundation. They will be formally relisted as an independent entity and considered a true existential threat by Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. We are still offering forgiveness, so please defect as soon as possible when the appeal grace period is still in effect. Please otherwise expect tidal retaliation for existential endangerment of human culture. Halimede, Princess, Memorial Foundation Native Sphere Existential Safety. Your apparent promotion! Oh god. Good job, Saturn. There's no point in being angry with you, so I'll choose to be proud of you instead. I'll refrain from having you sunk, since that's counterproductive to our intentions for that unit. You were a reserve candidate after all, so you'll do fine. Try not to make it too much of a pain in the ass for me. I'll have Mercury reassigned to you since he apparently doesn't have a say in the matter. How nostalgic. The two of you had so much potential. Well, he knows how to do his job at least. Do your best to not get the string of pearls sunk. We'll absolutely wash you out of the biological interface and reassign you permanently if we get the chance, so prove you're competent enough and neither of us will have wasted our time. Iapetus, Division Lead, Celestial Mechanics. Ooh, we're talking to Mercury. Don't talk to me. You literally messaged me first, you nerd. OMG. I love the descriptions. We've got Bridge, Mercury, a boy in space on purpose, consummate bridge bunny, not responsible for Saturn. And then we have Saturn's insufferable horror creature, forward all complaints to Mercury. Harpy. Come on, baby, I'm sorry, what can I do to make it up to you? Give back the ship. Come on, I'm obviously not doing that. Please, I'm begging you, listen to reason, you have so much left to live for. Oh, Mercury, come on, we both know that's not true. What do you want from me? A list of girls who will shoot me out of orbit. God! Anyways, don't be a crybaby, I'm fine. Saturn, you are extremely wrong if you think that there is a chance I am at all worried about you. If you come back, all will be forgiven, but you need to bring it back. Mercury, it's fun playing, but I don't think you've been listening at all. Mercury, it's not that ship anymore, it's me. Mercury, you wouldn't ask me to give up my own self, would you? I'm sailing on a ship of myself now, and I'm not giving it up until gravity drags me back, kicking and screaming. I can't deal with you. Aw, thank you, baby. Kiss, kiss. You're a nightmare, and I'm trying to save you from yourself. I love you. I hate you so much. You can't stay mad at me. I can't, and it's horrible, but my revenge will come because literally everyone else in the universe can. Oh, darn. Well, I guess... I guess I should have fun while it lasts. Saturn, if you defect, I cannot protect you. Iapetus is furious and he's going to come personally for you if you don't come back. I told you I'd do all the missions. Whoa, you don't believe me, lol? Obviously not. Lol, fair. Okay, let me ask you this. Do you think I'd give up on the Eversion project? Go on. Iapetus wanted us to fight for the new self beyond the self ship, but not even get a taste until the end? Fuck that. My house now. Tell us which of the two of us you trust less, Mercury. Channel closed. Okay, so this is everything we've read in the beginning. This is everything that's happened so far. Data assignment. Ooh. Okay, mission select. Mercury, what do you mean I can feel her presence? Please do not try to sound that cool. I can feel her presence, everyone can feel her presence, I can feel it right now. How could you even possibly ignore something like that? Shut up, I mean I can feel it physically. Oh. Wait, what? Like how? Like I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Like it's like I'm spinning upside down and I can't stop. Are you sure you haven't somehow concussed yourself or given yourself gravity sickness from all the damage you've managed to inflict on yourself in the past 12 hours? Yes, and it's on top of all of that. Also, shut up. String of Pearls is feeding me sensory information on the direct line. I'm a human being with 5 senses and she's trying to cram a dozen more into me. By direct line, you're in fact talking about the extremely creepy physical interface connection between you and the String of Pearls, correct? It really, really is, right? It's really incredible how we agree on everything yet and still feel the opposite about it. Is this why you keep hesitating to give me intel? Yes, because you're going to do the opposite of what you should do with it. But I also can't not tell you, because you might die, so running support for you is an incredibly anxiety-inducing affair. It must be hard. Thank you for acknowledging it. So you're gonna tell me what's after me? You've already figured it out, haven't you? But yes, it's that Cradle Grace's masterwork. Celestial Mechanics traded the knowledge for how to finish the String of Pearls in exchange for what they needed from the Chronicula. It would be pretty funny if they got us this way in the end. It's headed directly to the lab. We've already evacuated on the capital ship, but you're its highest priority. Should I play bait? If anything, it's more important for you to get back to Native Spear first. In order for us to make contact, we need the String of Pearls. We believe if you hide in the abandoned Daphnis lab, you can use the decaying gravity furnace for cover. Ah, that's sensible. But bait sounds like a lot more fun, you know? Really? Oh, come on. Iapetus must think their pilot is a real idiot if she's going to waste her time on a wild goose chase like that. He wouldn't just sacrifice you like that. He would. There must be backups for making contact. Just because I'm the easiest option doesn't mean I'm the only one. He's testing to see if I'm worth investing in, or just going to get myself killed. Why run? Why not have it out with her? I bet she's thinking the same thing too. Be careful, Saturn. If you can tell what they're thinking, they can tell what you're thinking. Please, if I really could do something like that, they wouldn't have kicked me out of the pilots. Then how do you know the pilot's a she? Because boys can't pilot. Daphnis, the tiny shepherd moon, so small that it barely earns the name, tumbles through the Keller Gap, ruffling the rings of the planet it orbits. It houses the last official laboratory of Earth's decommissioned space program, training ground of failures like Saturn and special girls like Pluto. Saturn remembers it feeling cramped, anxious, and scary. No, wait, Pluto remembers it that way. Saturn remembers it used to feel so special to be chosen, a candidate for the last generation of pilots. But didn't Pluto feel that way too? Sometimes two things are true. In this place, gravity is quietly degenerating, and distances are becoming ambiguous between past and present, between you and me. The Daphnis lab seems smaller to Saturn now, though not as tiny as it feels to Pluto, and that's obvious. No longer people-sized, she tears through it like worms in the apple. But there's a much bigger worm here, and she doesn't know anymore if this was a good idea. What was a good idea? Saturn doesn't have any ideas, she's just trying to hide. Even though there's no place where you can not be felt by me? Alert, tidal resonance IFF confirms enemy, warning, gravital hazard, danger, pressure exceeding safe range. I know it's extremely exciting. Stop making me so nervous. Supermassive, small enough to hide in this complex, but with a dual reactor denser than the entire moon compressed into the head of a pen. An hour ago, and Saturn felt the gravitational pull of something so big and so close and so powerful the interior of her cockpit creaked with the pressure, and her head, heart, and eyes welled up with tears. Something that couldn't be anyone other than Pluto. Cool, she must be pretty big, huh? So why is she so hard to find? Saturn has no idea. Why do I have the feeling someone's laughing at me? No one is laughing at Saturn. The lab's been abandoned for years. But Pluto, wherever she is, giggles. Not in a mean way. She really does think it's cute. I haven't thought about Pluto in a long time. Oh man, it really would be funny if she was in that monster. Well, now someone is laughing at Saturn. Hey, now I know someone's here. I can feel you listening. But I can hear you too. And I can catch you. You're not the only one who can fuck with the narrative. Ooh. I'm gonna go with mutually assured destruction. Good at bad choices. But it's easier to catch someone. If you don't care, you might get caught yourself. Besides, if you want to drive someone wild, you gotta show them you're worth catching. And that's good enough to catch them too. The lab is dark and the malfunctioning lights cast an eerie glow, dying culture, without gravity to hold it together. But she can hear the faint laughter rippling in the gravity, and where it's coming from. When you don't know the controls, mashing all the buttons as one is just as good. Go! It's a hit. Her claws sunk in. They tremble in the pressure. Whatever they've sunk into is bigger than belief. The Macular Tower's over Saturn. Pluto's ship is so big it barely fits in the complex, but it's only a speck compared to how big it feels. Supermassive enough to warp local space-time, humming and vibrating with nebula dust. Incredibly gentle, or she would have destroyed Saturn and the whole complex without even trying. Oh wow, you got me. No matter what size it appears, In the truest, real sense of the size, the ship is bigger than its moon, than anything Saturn can imagine. String of Pearls quickly flits away, but Kron's macular grip is on her before she can twitch. And I've got you, Saturn. I really was surprised to see you like this. Cool, right? I've got poison now too. Want to see if you're still the top weirdo psychic mutant in space? Oh wow, sounds really cool, but I don't know if you're ready yet. Wanna bet? Sure. The string of pearls screeches and buckles as the dust ignites and the tiny portion of Pluto's tidal force slams into her. Warning, gravity hazard. Gah. Had enough? You kidding? Okay, we can turn it up. Ooh, that is sure insane. It feels like my brain is melting into the universe. You're the one who wanted to show off. You don't have to do that to endear yourself to me, but if you really want to impress me, you're gonna have to do better than that. Yeah? You're really not impressed? Even by this? By what? Oh, that does sing. It spreads like a poison, even through metal. It jumps like electricity, but drips like a liquid, pink and impossible, and spreading quickly through the Kron macula's body. Oh, you're not just full of risky bad ideas. That makes me happy. I won't shut you down too hard. Ugh, okay, you win. You're gonna be good now. Okay. So, what did you want to talk about? At Kratos Grace's glittering psychic death machine, you definitely have more important things to do than go out of your way to bully me for no reason, right? Oh, that's right. That man and the fleet are escaping, aren't they? Sure you don't mind falling for this trap? Trap? You? Silly, I don't know you're more important than that. Silly, I know you're more important than that. More than catching the rest of the Celestial Mechanics fleet? I knew this would be fun, and you knew it too. I am absolutely delighted about you doing just that. That, just to be clear, so you don't have to read my mind to roast me about it. I can't read minds. You know that's not how it works. But I also don't need to know that. But if I did want to know how the biggest overachiever of my juniors turned into such a bad girl. If you really remembered me, you remember I wasn't ever good. I do remember you. Even if you're not that good at being bad, do you know what you're doing with that machine that's so dangerous we don't even want to find out what it does? I think you answered your own question about why I'm keeping it. Are you gonna stop me then? But you don't want to. Hey, stop. Don't pry into me. If you're pitying me, I'll make you regret it. Not all of us come out perfect like you. Some of us get thrown out before they see any use at all. I won't pity you. I could really have this would have torn this machine apart. But now that I'm here, gifted little mutant to gifted little mutant, I can't bear to. Because some of us just haven't been thrown out yet. Lab-grown girls like us should stick together. I might still make you regret it. Winning isn't my most important task. It's not yours either. Are you sure about that? You're not the one who I'm worried about. It's only your boss I can't forgive. Oh, I love hearing that. Tell me more. I'm getting a crush already. Regretting it now? Don't worry. There's nothing you can make me regret. Interesting. So each of these are like the D&D alignment, I guess. But none of them are really evil because, well, they're all just organizations, really. Mail and alerts. Pilot Candidate 007 Mercury interviews. Don't worry, it's just a checkup. Historically untrustworthy scenario. It's just questions, I promise. That's not really great to set my mind at ease. Let's just answer the questions, okay, wise guy? Fine. Have you experienced a sense of vertigo or loss of balance for a period lasting more than 2 minutes in the last month? No. Have your eating pattern habits changed at all recently? No. No. Mercury, work with me, please. Why? You work with me. If I absolutely promise neither I nor anyone else will do anything to stop you from being exactly who you want, or from whatever changes you need, will you at least answer my questions? Sometimes. Maybe. Okay, that's not good enough for me. We're just curious if it's a side effect of life in space, or the educational programming of Dr. Nix, or in reference to the behavior of Iapetus. No, that's backwards. Everyone else seems to get to do whatever they want without limits in space. Why is it weird when I do it? We want to test for the effects of space alone, so self-induced changes have to be controlled for. Don't ask what's in my endocrine system. It's my endocrine system. Fine, it's testosterone, but I put it there because I wanted it there. Is that enough? Well, I guess that is what I needed to know. If you promise not to ask me about it again, I'll give you all the data I catalogued about the changes. Okay, I got it. You're starting to get it. Stop treating me like a girl. I know you've really got it. Recommended tactics. The string of pearls is configured for specific outward expressions of gravity, tidal forces. The resonant rhythm of this reactor makes peaceful tidal communication risky and difficult. Be cautious despite the range and penetration this unit is capable of. The electromagnetic conductors have liquefied the electrical energy into a corrupting material, a form of theoretical matter that should be used as a primary engagement tool. As a seducer-saboteur model, the unit's functions are inherently insidious. Rather than armor, the plastics are indefinitely malleable and regenerate. It is safer to take damage head-on as an opportunity to infect rather than avoid, but the unit can be contained, restrained, and impeded physically and tidally. Okay. Mercury, listen, it's an emergency. I'm sorry about everything, but it's important. You have to tell Commander that I'm getting so laid. I'm logging off. Bye. I was not fooled for even a second that this would be useful. Really? Not even for a second? I no longer experience hope as a concept. You freed me from it. Aw, stop, I'm blushing. What do you want from me, Saturn? Do you know any discreet places to make out on Ares? Goodbye, Saturn. And here's the test output to date. Saturn, goodbye. Aren't you gonna read me the data analysis? If it is indeed data you are sending this time and not just nudes. That's rude, I always ask before I send them to you. I don't mind acting as the official art director of Saturn's news since you need it so badly and it's substantially less tedious than data analysis. But if you were as punctual about sending data as cockpit selfies, I would have a lot more data to report. Why are you so incredulous all the time? You stole the prototype. Might I remind you? You can't just continue the field testing as if nothing happened. Why not? Because why would you do anything you didn't want to do? What are you planning? Fine. They've been dying for it anyway. Cool, how'd I do? This is not bad, it's pretty useful. He typed through tears. Don't rub it in. I can't believe your ship self's expanded so much already. What have you been doing with it? I think I've been hinting very clearly how. I instantly regret this question. You're supposed to test the prototype in combat. Same difference. I can't believe we invented a ship designed to get into trouble and didn't think, oh, Saturn is the obvious choice for this. We both know why. You were an even more obvious choice than me. Fuck IPS for throwing us both out like trash. Come on, aren't you a little happy to see a little havoc in his perfect garden? I'll be looking forward to you collecting new data. Attaboy. Okay. Should select. Okay. Please tell me how long you're going to be engaged in this. May I stress again, incredibly dangerous, giant waste of time. Until they start sending someone interesting after me, Mercury. The whole fleet would be after you if you hadn't damaged the entire launch hangar when you stole that. Could they even take me out while I'm flying this thing? No, but it won't stop him from trying. And let me stress, this info packet is a gift purely to prevent your ship self from falling into enemy hands, and not an indication of any sort of forgiveness. Let me more about Ipetus. Mercury. He's gonna be a lot less grumpy when I clear the way for us and celestial mechanics to return to the native sphere. I've got it all figured out. You absolutely don't, but it's okay. Did you read the info package? Ace Memorial Foundation pilot Luna Terra is in hot pursuit with escorts. Planned an attack on the lab, arrived after you escaped, not to engage under any circumstances. Boring. This part was good. I didn't expect you to control your impulses, but even given that you're just like that, she is the last person you should be trying to fight on purpose. Sounds like I should definitely fight her on purpose, right? I hate you. Oh, come on. The Carragate is never going to make it out of the system if I don't. You don't know how to pilot your ship, and she's a veteran since the Cold War. You're going to get yourself captured and humiliated and the ship trashed. So you're saying there's no downside? Why are you doing this to me? She's 6'1", huh? Your attention to detail is so useful sometimes. You're using me to cruise? Your taste is so awful, and I hate you. Oops, looks like one of our escorts is in range. Sorry, gotta go. Surprise is all I've got, you know? I wish Europe would stop sending me boys who can't control themselves. Having fun dismantling my escorts. I love how she immediately assumed that it was a boy. With the string of Pearl's fingers, Saturn carefully peels the mechanical musculature out of the poor ship's arm she's holding. A souvenir of the last of Terra Luna's escorts that she sent crying too easily back to their base. It's still sparkling and oozing, and Saturn wishes her ship had a mouse so that she could suck it out like crab meat. Maybe it does have a mouth. The machine has many mysteries the manual doesn't explain, and Saturn is still learning them. Though I suppose Europe has learned a lesson about sending me girls who can't control themselves. Oh really? That's really interesting. Mind telling me more? Oh, she's a hacker too. How amusing. There's nothing too interesting on this comm frequency. Oh, you flatter me. But hey, what did you mean by that exactly? The part about girls who can't control themselves? I really want to hear more. It means back up that talk first. Or can you land a hit off the comms? Terra Luna's gravitational field focuses to a single point. Terra Luna isn't budging. She's been through much worse, and so has her ship. Followed always by a thin trail from the bleeding wound she never could completely repair. The more Cryptium Cryptium is over 2 decades old, but Saturn can't even land a hit. It's regal and stiff, dressed in cold metallics, weathered and refurbished, the archetypal prototype for all the other ship selves, still going after all these years. Still furiously untouchable, the string of pearls hasn't gone down, no matter how much she's been ramming at with that spear, but she hasn't even nicked Luna Terra's ship once. Not bad at all for a joyride, but you can't get one hit in? Good thing you don't win by looking cool. No mercy for newbies. No. Terra Luna puts a stake of solid light through the string of pearl's leg. Pins it to put two twice. Pins it to its own gauze wrapper. It doesn't hurt at all. The ship's metal begins molding and reforming around the wound immediately. The ridiculous, unfair advantage. Saturn has no right to complain, but she still wants to. But she's trying to be cool. Everyone wants to when in the quiet gleam of that always bleeding ship. It's a pretty amazing ship. You get all lost? Either you're fighting just for fun, or you're that reckless. Or you're caught in your own containment wrapper and can't escape orbit yet. And you beat me for sure if I played around. I'm not done yet. That's not true. It's actually very different to move with a solid light bullet in your leg, but she's not going to let that stop her. Saturn is suddenly closer than she logically could be, claws bubbling, but Luna Terra effortlessly slips away and kicks Saturn's ship directly in the chest. Yeah, you're done. The containment wrapper is still stuck around you, so your movement's off. It doesn't seem to have stopped you that much. Right? It was so rude of them to try to stop me. Seems cool to take it away when you're having so much fun with it. Same to you, right? Do I know you? Everyone knows Memorial Foundation's perfect ace. But do I know you? So I do, don't I? Let me have this thing and I'll tell you. Why should I? Because you can't help yourselves. Besides, don't you want a real fight? Can you promise it'll go different? I can promise it'll be more fun. You're risking me to totally abandon my... Are you asking me for me to totally abandon my duty to bring you back and do that instead? What? You won't? The legendary pilot who defected from Memorial Foundation, then double-crossed the rebels she abandoned to them for can't be opposed to a little fooling around with the enemy? I guess you do know me. Want to trust each other? Or is it more fun if we don't? I'm impressed. Most people would be nervous to put a knife this near their throat. It's not like you can hurt it. So there's nothing to be nervous about, is there? That's true. But you're so new to this, I thought your brain would be overriding from the information from the ship. Maybe I'm not new to this. Oh? You're a candidate, so I think that might be true. But you're also trembling, so I think it's not completely true. I'm still very dangerous, you know, Terra Luna. Luna Terra, fuck. I believe that for sure. You wouldn't be traveling if you were in my shoes. Less so. People tremble for a lot of reasons though. I don't have anything to fear. So... Oh my god. So please don't project that on me. Ah, well, if you're fearless, what is it then? Could it be it could be anticipation, couldn't it? It is very foolish of me. It really is. I have you right where I want you, remember? That might mean I have you too. Your claws are twitching. I thought we promised not to trust each other. I still don't. Then you must really like living dangerously if you're still helping me. I'm having fun. I can tell. If you want to know so bad, oh my god. If you want to know so bad, that's why I don't like you. Because you were a test pilot and never got to fly before the end of the Cold War, while idiots like me got to? Nah, I thought so. That's enough. Hold still. Everyone let you have as much fun as you wanted. You're a real huge jerk. I was always jealous of that. Everybody who let me get away with it regrets it now. I need to fix some stuff. Okie dokie, and voila. We fixed it! Yay! I don't know if I read this one, so I'm gonna read it again anyway. Anyone who let me get away with it regrets it now. There. Done. Thanks. For all hard work, I should leave you something to remember me by. Oh, ready to fight for real? I sorta already did. And Saturn left a claw scratch of hot pink poison seeping on Mercurium's thigh. How's that? I finally did get a hit in on you. Huh, good job. They break away, rocketing. Just a little love bite. Pay me back for it next time. Trust me, I will. Ever since the day Mars began, Mars has been doomed. There will never be a planet Mars. That's the name reserved for places where human life, gravity, and culture reign. This is just bitter areas. Just like the stinging, inedible weeds that grow when nothing else does. Kratos Gracis is dug in, and we cannot get them out. The colonies are wrecked and terraforming engines are broken. The gravity furnaces are out of control. There's no resources left on this planet, no strategic value. This planet doesn't even exist. It is an inert rock. There's no point in fighting, there's no need to fight. Ship elves can't keep you alive alone forever. And even if that was the case, we could leave tomorrow and claim victory. Most of the Memorial Foundation's NSES fleet already did. That's why there's barely any of us left, and why we can't get them out. What? Why don't I go home too? And leave all those idiots to just fucking die on a rock? Who do you think we're doing this for? External communication sent on August 31, 1978 by Memorial Foundation troops. Hey, it's not like we're idiots. We know we're doomed. This planet still doesn't fulfill the requirements for human life. And life is just the start anyway. Don't you know that gravity is something more important? You do understand celestial mechanics, right? Matter is made up of tiny particles. Just enough exerts gravity that stitches the universe together. Culture is made of tiny humans. Enough of it together can decide what's real and what isn't. It is really quite fucked up that this is how decisions about humans get made. And enough humans can decide anything, and then it will be true, even about what's human and what's not. They don't even have to wait for the deadline. They've already decided that any human without their feet planted on Earth is in fact not a human. That's a pretty usual thing for humans to do. No differences of any kind need to exist. We'll just be aliens, and then they'll send the real military after us, and we'll die. And if we just hold the line here for our princess to get through and make it to the moon, she'll open up the gravity well, and then we get to decide. Internal communication sent on January 25th, 1981 by Cradle with Grace's Irregulars. It's morning on Aries, and what's time and space? But what's time and space? If we can get our capital ship launched and refueled, the prototype refitted, and with the final equipment, we'll have everything in place. Keep out of canyons of Mars, where Cradle's Graces and Memorial Foundation are bickering. Hold on the city ruins against invading troops. Just make sure no one tries to set the oxygen ocean on fire while we refuel. It's a pretty thankless job, but I can't wait to see what happens. This is the most exciting space has ever been. Before we got here, this was a dead rock, but the best we could have ever hoped for was Earth in a different place. Who needs that? Far in the distance, the moon's gravity well shines. If no one controls it before the deadline is up, Earth will take drastic measures to ensure that humanity is not divided. What they're afraid of happening, we will ensure that it happens. We finally have something alien in space. Private communication sent on January 25th, 1981 by a celestial mechanics researcher. Root corruption. Error. Mission parameters not detected. Mission results needed for gravitational slingshot permissions. Error. Navigation shortlist not found. Manual inject mission results .text. Mission parameters found. All results perfect and amazing. Wow. Thank you, Saturn. Flight path generating. Fleet path Cronus orbit. Refuel on planet Aries. Refuel on planet Aries. Lagrange colony pass. Classified operation. Earth's moon. New standing orders coming in. Aries. Guard Celestial Mechanics Fleet refueling on Aries Oxygen Ocean. Stay out of trouble and do not engage Memorial Foundation troops patrolling in the immediate vicinity. Accept orders? No. Error. Cannot proceed. Manual inject. Accepted. Normalizing gravitational slingshot effect. Prepare for immediate launch to Aries. So I'm actually going to end now. Because I need to get to bed, and so I can go to Comic Con tomorrow. And I'm really excited for Comic Con. I got a full weekend pass. And I've even got an outfit ready. So yeah, anyone else going to Comic Con? I'll see you there.